when I tell my friends that I don't play video games, that I don't scroll, they always ask me like, what do you do with your free time? And this video is exactly about that. It's about giving you some ideas, some inspiration of things you can do to replace scrolling, to replace playing video games. Because, I mean, I've been there. You're probably wondering, like, I want to be more productive. I want to have a better tomorrow. I want to improve myself. And I want to stop, like, wasting all my free time playing video games and scrolling. But you don't know what you can do instead. Now, of course, the normal things you might think of is like, okay, weightlifting. You know, you go to the gym 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. But the thing is, I mean, you got done with your schoolwork or at your work, and then you go to the gym, but you're still left with like 3 hours, and you don't know what to do with those. Like, you've went to school, you played video game, you went to the gym. It was a productive day so far, but you know that if you spend the next 3 hours scrolling, you'll feel bad about yourself. Well, what can you do instead of those things? Personally, for me, a few things that I replace scrolling with, is watching educative content. You know, podcasts or videos like these, like where there's not that many edits. I mean, in this video, there's no edits whatsoever, and you watch it with the purpose of learning things, of improving yourself. Well, this is like one of the easiest way to replace, scrolling. You replace it with content, so it's still kind of the same thing, but it's much better for you. So, watching educative content. The other thing I do that takes up a lot of my time is meditation at the moment, because I'm doing 1 hour a day. But like, I recommend you do it for like 10 minutes maximum a day. That's already like plenty, and it's gonna really improve your life. And it's gonna take like, meditation is basically the opposite of scrolling. You know, the feeling you get after like 10 minutes of meditation is basically the opposite feeling you get of like 1 hour after 1 hour of scrolling. Like, instead of being so foggy, you can't concentrate, you've got this bad aura around you because you've been scrolling, watching the weirdest shit. Well, meditation is basically the complete opposite. So, watching good content, weightlifting, you're probably already doing it, but like watching educative content, you're already doing it, but you could completely replace scrolling with watching educative content. But if you want to get out of the platform, out of YouTube, meditation, journaling, that I do twice a day, every single day. It's kind of my agenda where I like list the things I want to do for the day, but it's also a place where like, I write my thoughts, and I do it every single day. It might sound feminine because, I mean, you in your mind it might be only little girls that, they journal. But trust me, like, even if you're a masculine man, journaling is like such a powerful habit. It's personally what I believe one of my core habits. It's the habit I use if I want to install more habits. If I want to meditate more, I write it down in my journal and I stick with the program. So, journaling. Now, next up is building a business, building a product, or just a personal project of yours. It doesn't have to be an online business. It can be something you do in real life. It can be like, let's say you're really into fitness, you start coaching clients, like, in real life personal coaching. Because let's say you really love video games, and you love that grind that you get from video games where you level up. Well, if you want to replace that with something, you can't really like replace it with educative content. It's not going to feel the same. Scrolling might feel the same. Like, it's kind of the same vibe, the same thing. You replace scrolling with educative content. But if you want to replace playing video games, yeah, you're really able to replace it with weightlifting. That's one of the best things. Instead of leveling up like in the virtual world, you level up in the real world. But like I said in the beginning, since you cannot do it for like 4 hours a day, every single day, you've got to do it less if you want it to be optimal. Well, you need to replace it with something else. And building a business, having your product or whatever, for me, it's like producing content. For me, it's like speaking to people and helping them. Well, doing that can become your video game. And it's such a more purposeful, more productive thing to do. Like it might very well change your life. You starting a business right now, even though you know nothing about business, might actually become like the business of your dreams. It might actually be the thing that gives you an income for the rest of your life. So yeah, of course, like you replace video games with building a business. I mean, and that, building a business, for me, it's like it takes maybe 2-3 hours a day that I use, towards this, towards content. And when I've got school, it's even less. It's like 1 hour a day maximum. But even with 1 hour a day, you're going to be able to put some great stuff out there. So yeah, building a business. Next up, like more on the fun side, because I mean we've been talking about like grindy stuff. But if you want to have fun, like instead of scrolling, you want to have like actual real fun, not just free dopamine. You call up a bunch of friends and you go do like an extreme sport. I'm really into extreme sports. So like, let's say this summer I used to like call up a bunch of friends and we would just go cliff jumping. I knew a few spots, or sometimes I would just go with my bro and we would find spots. Like we would walk down a river and see, oh, we can jump from there. It's pretty high, like 10 meters. And I really enjoyed doing that. But the thing is, you've got to be the one that initiates. Basically, you cannot be waiting for a friend to call you. That, like, it does happen, like, from time to time. But for me, I don't have many friends. You've got like three good ones, and you've got like maybe 10 that you could do activities with. But if I want to do something, I've got to be the one that say like, hey yo bro, what you got on Friday? Got nothing? I set up something. Sometimes it's only just going on a walk. Like sometimes that's all I need. But sometimes like, you go do a few sports. Like I really like skiing right now. It's winter, it's beautiful outside. I go skiing yesterday. I went snowshoeing with my friend, and you have these great conversation. And after a good conversation like that, you don't want to go scrolling. You want to be productive. You want to do other things with your life. So yeah, calling up a friend, that's one hell of a fun thing to do. The other ones, I guess it's, you just go on a walk. Like you can do sports by yourself. You go on a walk, you go snowshoeing. I like to, like this PM, I've got no friends that's available, so I'm just gonna go skiing by myself. But like, I know that in the PM, like in the morning, I'm pretty productive. Like I'm gonna be able to get my business work done. I'm gonna do my learnings, watch these educative content. But in the PM, if I am not very careful, I'm gonna become an absolute degen. Like I'm gonna be on my phone, waste time on my phone, watch content, and sometimes I start watching like short form content, even though like I don't identify as someone that ever watched like short form content. But sometimes YouTube shorts, they pop on your phone and you want to watch them. So that's why in the PM I always try to get busy with something else in advance. Like this PM, I'm gonna work out probably, then go skiing, and once I come back home, since I've got nothing to do, I'll read. Now, reading is a great habit to replace scrolling with. But the thing is, it can be extremely boring to read. But personally, I found like I don't really like reading, especially like these educative books. Like I find it so slow. Like ChatGPT could tell me like the whole point of the book, and I could like learn all about the book in like 5 minutes. So I don't want to read a book for like 8 hours to get it. So that's why I don't really like reading educative books. So what I personally read is just some good fiction. Now, I might sound like a geek for that, but like I read a lot of manhwa, of mangas. I really love those. Like, yes, maybe it's not like my most productive habit of the day, but it's, for me at least, like it makes, maybe I'm coping, but it makes me more creative. Like I love to like dive into another world and just learn all about it basically. And I only do that, I only allow myself to, read these types of fiction when I'm the least productive. So basically like, at 4 p.m. to like 8 p.m. are the only time frame where I can read those, because that's the time where I'm the least productive. Now that's basically all. Like, it's a few ideas that I just gave to you. You don't have to do all of them. Like, you take the ones that you're like, oh yeah, I could actually do that. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.